Hello and welcome. We are the Bitches with Beards, and we love to talk all things culture.
On this podcast, we chat our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
It's the Cultural Three-Way. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Max. We saw you from across the bar.
And we really enjoy your vibes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, lordy. Lord.
It's been a long 7 days.
It has been a long 7 days. For once, I would like my job not to be the front page of the Washington Post. Just once.
Just once.
Just once. It would be so nice not to have that. Oh, Lord. Oh, the survival. I don't know that I have the will to carry on anymore. I might just faint on a couch and not get up until winter.
I'm surprised you don't really have the room for a proper fainting couch within your room, do you?
Not within my room, but I could definitely put one in the living room and just be like, I'm there. It's a conversation piece, that fainting couch.
Yeah, it has been a bit of one, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you've also had a bit of a week too.
Long 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we went up to Philly last week. Then there was issues with the hotel room and the booking. Went up to see our lovely friends Alex and Sarah, and it was their little Hattie's birthday, and we got to meet Rupert. And he watched the football with him, which was actually a lot of fun because there's a lot of Brits and people about. But yeah, we took the dogs and we got to the hotel and there was a problem with the booking. So we actually ended up taking the dogs to the party, which the house was lovely. It wasn't their house, it was another house. Their house was lovely, but this was a big house.
Right.
And then... yeah, it was just very stressful because I was traveling on Sunday, but we came home that night and they were very sweet. Said, no, you can stay on our floor. But they had guests and Sarah's mum was there, and then we said, no, I want our own beds. And then and also by driving, and we actually worked out. Now we can do Philly there and back in the day. Not that it's something we want to do.
Not that one wants to do Philly, but back and forth in a day.
Going back at 9, yeah, we were back by 11:30.
Well,
yeah,
that's not bad.
And then we got into beds, but and it was all good, but. So I went to Portland for a few days for work, 2 full days, and it was a really great experience. I've never been. That's Portland, Oregon, but
did you see any Sasquatch?
No, you bitch. No, I was going to get the husband Sasquatch merch, but no, I knew there was a big Sasquatch thing. No, it was really cool. We were in the Slabtown area, which if anyone knows Portland, it's a kind of, they're redoing it a little bit. It's just really cool. The team was lovely, but during the whole thing, Bug got ill with diarrhea, which, so I'm sorry if everyone's kind of sick of ill dogs, but He's the life of an adult. But we kind of overshadowed a little bit of the whole trip because I just felt so terrible for my husband having to constantly clean up shit. And we got back and I literally flew back in and straight into watch England lose against Argentina.
That's not a bad omen right there.
Yeah. So no, we flew. It was. I said I really like Portland. Checked out the real big. There's the biggest independent bookstore in the world. Walked down to it. I didn't know what area it was like, so what I did is I ran. I went for a run in the morning, and I was like, I'm gonna run down there,
as you often do.
But I usually, because I was like, also, I know it's not a vacation, but I'm not at home, so I was like, do I want to run? And I was like, actually, I want to run because it's a really fun way to see the city a little bit. So I was like, okay, well, the bookstore's down this end. I'm gonna go run to it in the morning, and just to see, because there's a highway, but the highway is above, it's on a bridge, so. It was just really good way to check it out. When I eventually went to the bookstore to buy something, I was going to buy the new Hunger Games. $30 for hardback.
Oh no!
And I was like, no. I mean, I know she's supporting independent bookstores, but no, we're not.
We're not supporting that much.
That's a lot for. Which I know is going to be a good book, but that's a lot of money for. That's a bit through the roof.
Well, I wouldn't say it's through the roof, but it's a bit much for a Hunger Games book.
Yeah, it has to be a very special book for me.
I don't know that it's going to be that special.
Yeah, so I might see what the library's doing with it, actually.
Well, yes, you definitely should, and I definitely recommend you check out the Libby app, and you can borrow my card if you need to get it free.
I've got a card, but I think everyone should have their own independent cards because numbers show usage.
Right, and I mean, how else are we going to get funding for it if we don't show the usage?
I'll find my application.
Oh, yeah, but you can do it easy enough.
But no, apart from that, Bugs, he's slowly getting a little bit better, but we've had to rejig trips. It's becoming very clear that he's kind of beyond an age where we can really leave him on his own much. He needs a bit of extra TLC. There's someone might come in and say, no, we've had old dogs, we know what we're doing, you'll be fine. But you couldn't. He's beyond a little bit of a casual.
Yeah, he needs a little care, a little love bug there.
Yes. That's enough about us. Shall we get our guests warmed up?
Yes, we should warm up and talk about culture for the week.
So, Daniel, what was culture for you this week?
Culture for me this week. Well, let me put it this way. I had to work until 9:30.
Yes.
One night, which is not normal. So my culture is very thin, but there is some culture there hidden deep down in its depths. So I highly recommend the new album Journalism by Baby Rose. If you like Amber Howard, and if you like Billie Holiday, this is the album for you. Good cross of the two. I tried cooking a brand new recipe. It was roasted Greek shrimp in red sauce. I like it. I highly recommend, though, that you use shallots instead of red onions, and you actually saute them before you bake them.
What's a Greek shrimp?
So
in
it's
the sense, I don't think I've heard of the Greek mix for that.
So it's a lot of preserved lemon on it, and then the Kalamata olives that you do with it, and you bake it with some feta cheese on top of it. But it's on top of red sauce, on top of a bed of red onions, is what they called for.
Oh, delicious!
It's fine. It would actually make a really good spaghetti sauce, but they recommended you do it with crusty bread. And then my third culture of the week was on Wednesday night when I was working on an assignment. I just put on my Spotify and listened to a lot of Whitney Houston. So
good for you.
That's for you, Whitney. What about you? What was your culture for the week?
Well, food this week was Portland ice cream.
Tell me about Portland ice cream.
It's just very. I didn't know there was. So I found out Tillamook's in Oregon. But no, it was just very. The area had like 3 big ice cream stores.
Okay.
I think it was Kim's. I had the first, and I really liked it. It was very, very creamy.
Was it chocolate and peanut butter?
There was a peanut butter. Peanut butter, because my husband's favourite's cookie dough. So I try and get if I get 2 scoops. And I asked for half and half, which they did, and they gave me like a double, and it was a lot, but it was worth it. But it was like. And then they had like a soft serve one, which was pretty good. There was a peanut butter butterscotch, which was nice. It was, and Salt and Straw was another one as well. There were some really good ones. I was kind of, Ed and Bean was the soft serve. So, no, I would highly recommend. So if you're going there, especially if you're like, also, we've started to do this as a group, is not getting a last drink, but getting we have so many ice cream stores near us as walking home.
Yes, especially on 14th Street.
Yes. Books I've read in one go: Murder at the Monastery, the Reverend Richard Cole's. It's a really lovely written book. It's got a really good mystery. It just, again, he just doesn't deliver it as much as I would like, but he clearly, it's a very involved mystery, and I would love to know where he got inspiration for it from. I just kind of wish he would pepper it throughout, and I don't think you ever have and he did a really good roundup, and how he brought in monastery life into the sitting and the living room scene was fantastic, and the dealing with his fame and the story of his feelings going through it. It just was a lot it just all comes at once at the end, and it's I could have done with a oh my moment, and I felt that
there was no oh my.
and he's actually pretty good at describing his characters, because I would have got very confused by which monk was which monk.
Yes,
but he did it reasonably. A couple of them slipped through. Yeah,
there was one or two that I was just like, I could not keep straight the entire book.
The one with the accent, I didn't realise until like halfway through, was the one that was leading the novices.
Oh yes,
I think they kind of he described him and then didn't quite link the two characters. So sometimes what they do, if you are a big book reader, or you're not, is that especially if where there's a lot of characters, they'll be like, oh, so and so, and then they'll say, oh, that was the person that was so and so, and I don't think he had that moment.
Yeah, he made it where it was very established community, and there was no need to do that, which was at the detriment to the reader. He was like, it would have been nice to have been like, and this is this person.
So we had that, and then my other culture of the week was I went to see The Invite, which was You Live a Wild movie of Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Cannot recommend enough.
Oh, really?
Cannot recommend enough. So I'm going to wait and see my little buddy's turning. He should be okay. Calm bear. Just turn. Yes, so I went to see The Invite. It's the Olivia Wilde directed, Rashida Jones written movie with Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Edward Norton, and Penelope Cruz. Absolutely excellent. Highly recommend. It's about a couple that invite another couple over, and it is propositions. But it's a very well done movie. The comedy isn't so much about. It's not one of those annoying, oh dear, they want us to have a four-way, what are we? Oh, comedy of manners. It's an exploration of the relationships, not just the sort of the vanilla couple, but where the other couple have come from. So I really liked it. I'd highly recommend. I went last night. The cinema was packed.
Oh,
which,
wow.
I think it starts to get some really good reviews. So, it's got amazing reviews, but I was quite surprised how busy it was on a Thursday. Would highly recommend.
Oh, interesting.
So with that, Daniel, our third is well and truly warmed up. I think it's time to get down to business.
Yes, now it's time to answer the question, who is your top, who is your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre?
So Daniel, who is your top, who is your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre?
So my bottom of the week was announced that the Department of War, which drives me fucking crazy, I'm saying that, will require that male members over the age of 30 be tested for low testosterone and to have injections accordingly. I'm just going to call it right now. That is Gender Affirming Care, if not anything else.
Yes.
This comes on the heels of it being announced that they will not pay for any transgender hormones by any individuals who are actively listed. And I'm just fine because it's Gender Affirming Care. And I'm like, this is just, the irony is so rich. I'm like, you cannot write this.
No.
Like, absolutely ridiculous. My top of the week happens to go out to one of our patron saints, Madonna.
Yes, wow.
Confessions 2 debuted at number 1. This marks the artist's 10th number 1 album on the Billboard Top 200, and she is the first female to have a number 1 album in 5 different decades.
That's pretty spectacular.
That is phenomenal.
Because she hasn't released one this decade, has she?
No, this is the one that she released this decade, yeah.
Cher hasn't, has she?
No.
She released... Closer to the Truth came out in the teens, didn't it? Cher's been almost a bit more sporadic with her albums.
Well, actually, her Christmas album was released this decade.
Did she do? Cher's always been a little bit. Cher really. Cher does what Cher wants. She released the whole ABBA album after doing Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Which is a good album, actually.
Sure.
So, Daniel, what's your lucky Pierre of the week?
My lucky Pierre of the week is the fact that there was a death that occurred in D.C.
No.
And we're not talking so much about the death. It was...
Rosie! Come on, leave him alone. I know. Carry on, Daniel.
It was more that one Lindsey Graham, a.k.a. Lady G, died very unexpectedly and suddenly on Saturday. I don't think it was on anyone's bingo card.
No.
The reason why we're talking about it is the meme culture that has come out of it has just been
blown up,
been ruthless, and I am here for it. I am so here for it. There was a comic that essentially had death playing the claw machine. It's like, I wanted a Mitch McConnell, but I got a Lindsey Graham instead.
So the issue is been all the time with Lindsey Graham is that there is and rumours. They're not substantiated that he was a homosexual.
Yes.
And that he had many, this again, unsubstantiated.
He allegedly.
Allegedly had a brethren of cool boys.
Yes.
Ladybugs. The other time I heard for Ladybug was they called him that because of his moles.
Yeah, freckles.
Freckles and stuff.
Yes.
But, yes, there's been a lot that has kind of rumoured, and the biggest issue that obviously that has come from this is the amount of work he has done to damage the gay cause.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm just going to put it like this. If you put that energy out into the world, whenever you die, you sort of reap it.
Yeah.
It's, the first law of motion or whatever it is, energy can't be destroyed. No, I'm botching that completely. But anyways, the concept is that, if you're going to put that out into the world, it's going to come back to you. And so I find it just absolutely hilarious that, God, one of the ones that I just died laughing. was essentially quoting the Birdcage, and it was, "What? He's dead with a hooker, and his name is Chocolate." Like, my friend in New York sent that, and I absolutely lost it whenever that came across my phone. I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!"
Yes, the gays were very quick to move on this.
Literally by Sunday, like.
So I think we
phones were
woke
blowing
up Sunday.
We woke up
Sunday
Sunday morning to it, but by noon on Sunday, like, it was just everywhere. It was a topic of conversation at the brunch I had on Sunday, like, in passing of like, who saw this coming? I'm like, no one did.
No, we all thought it'd be Mitch, who's still MIA. They released
Right.
the photo, but no,
Allegedly,
but no one's looking at the photo going, that looks in any way real.
It looks AI. Anyways, more of the conspiracy going on in DC. We'll see how that one plays out.
Yeah, the ladybug thing, you know, again, it said it was not the one we had on our bingo cards.
No.
A lot of it feels like distraction.
Well, it does, but I'm also like, well, if it was a distraction, like, why are we using that one to distract, of all things? But I don't know.
It's just so sad when you consider, like, his legacy.
It's absolute
shit. When you just consider that, you know, I think he honestly felt like he was going to go into the night a hero, and the only significant group of people that know his name know it for negative reasons. I mean, where was his? Was it Kentucky? No,
South Carolina.
And, you know, his sister's been pulled into, you know, which is complete, you know, nepotism, DI, and and you can fight me on that one because it's true. And he tried to involve himself in the world stage, which was contradictory to the work of the Republican Party, who wanted to keep him, you know, wanted to keep out of the rest of the world. They want the rest of the world out of the United States, and fair enough. But at the end of the day, he was probably known as a senator there. They'd be able to name him.
Yeah.
But his legacy for, I think, within the people that would support him will be forgotten because they aren't that engaged politically at that level. The people that knew his name knew it for bad reasons. He's going to have a predominantly bad reputation.
Well, and he was up for re-election this year, and he was only up by 3 points.
Yeah.
And a comment being up by 3 points is not a reassuring sign.
Well, yeah, just knows no one else's business, isn't that the whole problem?
Yeah. So, anyways, we will see what more comes to light in coming weeks. But it has been quite fascinating. But what about you?
Well, my bottom of the week, I had all deaths this week, almost all deaths.
Oh, all deaths. Get us the black crepe out now.
Well, the bottom would be Brenda Fricker died, who is known as the Pigeon Lady from Homeland 2, but was a legendary actress in Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland. She was in Casualty, which is our version of ER, in the first season, first few seasons actually, and she was also in a show called Beautiful People about an LGBTQ child, which I read the book for. She played Narg in one episode, the grandma backwards, who was fucking hilarious, and it's just had quite a prolific career, and it was just sad to see her go. My favourite, I know I bring up Gavin and Stacey a lot, but there's a bit where Pammy does the sign of the cross and goes, "Help us, Heavenly Father," and that Mick's like, "Why the hell are you doing that? You're not Catholic." She goes, "Always what Brenda Fricker does." You know, and I always love that. It's what Brenda Fricker does in Casualties. What are you doing in times like this? And I think Brenda Fricker, if you want to stay on a theme of meme culture, is famous because in Pigeon Lady drag it has distinct resemblance to Piers Morgan.
Yes.
And every year he has to claim that it is
not him.
So the next death is in my top of the week because he's a hero. And that'll be Sam Neill died.
Yes.
And, you know, for most of our generation, it would be Jurassic Park. You know, as a self-proclaimed geek. I know. Always
You're
like
not a geek.
Donatello, Billy Cranston. No, like the Sam Neill character, Alan Grant character was a, you know, like the thinking man, adventure in Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3. And I believe the sixth one. Yes. But no, it is very sad. Everyone had nothing but lovely things to say about him. Apparently, he was great on set. He's great everywhere, and just sadly a little bit too gone before his time.
Yeah. Again, one I didn't see coming.
No, but he had pneumonia, which is really making a comeback.
we need to go take the cure in the mountains or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never heard so much pneumonia outside of HIV. Well, no, because usually it's one of those that you used to hear a lot. Like it was the one that they would say, "Oh, they got pneumonia. Why did they get that?" But like reasonably healthy people getting pneumonia, and you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, my lucky Pierre this week, and I did have a couple, and I went back and forward on it. But England's about the World Cup. We lost to Argentina, and I think the World Cup is just it's been big, and I think.
There's been a following here in the States, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, and I don't know what I know. Honestly, by next week and the week after, it's going to be done. We're hoping, we're rooting for Spain. If you're listening to this and Spain won, cheer us on. If you're listening to this and Argentina won, it's just got very sad this year. So I think, like for me. Like, you haven't watched any of it, have you? But what have the vibes been?
So the vibes are the people that have been watching it have been like all in. They're like, oh my gosh, I have to watch all 4 games that are going on today. And I'm like, really? That's a lot of effort for, a team that we don't normally play in for a country that you've never been to. But all right, go you. And people have just been going to watch parties and they have just been all in. I've had one of my employees who was like, I'm going to take the rest of the day off because they're playing and I want to go watch it at a bar. And I'm like, okay, well, just put in your leave and go watch it from a bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I didn't realize you were a soccer fan. But all right, you go. Like, it was a person that was just like, okay, sure. Soccer. Or football. There we go.
I watched the England games and then I watched the US ones if the Hubs was about.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, like, one was a white one when he was away at his in New York, and Alex was over, and we watched that in the background because we were having a natter. But I probably wouldn't have watched it at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. I would have probably shoved the movie on.
Yeah.
The English team, there's been a lot of shit. Unfortunately, the head of FIFA is a corrupt piece of shit.
Yes.
And people want to vote him back in. God knows. He's in the pocket of Trump. God knows why. And then you've got Messi involved, who's, like best buddies with Netanyahu and all that sort of stuff. So it's got nasty. The Argentinian team were playing very nasty. And people have kind of, it's interesting the amount of supporters there were in the bar. And I'm like, your team is really playing like dreadful people, and they've been playing like dreadful people the entire tournament, but good for you for supporting that.
Wow, you're now an atrocious person in my book.
But you had a lot of like posts up online kind of going, oh well, we should support Argentina because they're they can get two World Cups in a row. I'm like, that's not a reason. This isn't playgrounds.
No.
The other, you
support someone because they play good, they play well, they are the exhibition of sportsmanship. Like, that's why you support a team.
But the double standard, the whole thing about the Falkland Islands has come up, and then the history of it is that England had the Falkland Islands before Argentina existed as a country. So it's like, and then they had the banner, which they've admitted is political, but they're not going to deal with it until after the final, which has been a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, but it does feel slightly like the USA has damaged soccer.
As only we can. We host something and we damage it.
We got made a very political, and I think that's very sad. But I do think there was a lot of genuine fans over here. But for England, I mean, we kept it flying. It was very sad to leave, but the meme culture for that was real. We had lovely Gordon, who was like Princess Diana and became known as the People's Princess.
I did see that.
Down to Marmite rebranding as We Might. We Might Win.
Yes.
And like even brands were like taking stuff off the shelves. So Lidl would take off all Argentinian wine during the game, or like Greg's on the day.
Good for them.
Like they were just for the day, and then Greg's were like, "We're going to take you. Our Mexican sandwiches aren't available today." And I felt like I know someone might look at that and go, "Oh, how dare they?" But
it's a fun sport.
It's a fun sport, and they've done it well. There's no maliciousness about it. There was a lot of back and forth. And I think I know that the Scots went down really well in Boston. The Tartan Armies was a huge success, which is really sweet to see. The English, I mean, there's been a lot of like, I hate to, there's a lot of, we've discovered America and we're like really loving like the culture here and the ranch dressing and that sort of thing. I do feel like a pinch of salt needs to be given to some of this, in that these are influencers and they are going to be, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. But at the same time, I think it has bridged some cultures, and I think teams have come together. But I do think the game has somewhat, reputation has been damaged, not beyond repair.
No,
but I think we are very much
it's a little tarnished.
looking forward to getting it into another country
Yes.
ASAP, because UEFA, who is the European one, is not happy whatsoever, and there's some distancing occurring because it's the European. The Euros are in 2 years. We do every 4 years, and that's always good. I prefer the Euros slightly. It's a bit more of a condensed tournament for obvious reasons.
Always held in Europe, I'd assume.
Yes. So you have one over here that plays about the same time. It's it's all the American teams, the Cup or something, and I think there's all, each like continent has its own one, and then the World Cup. But anyway, I think with that, Daniel, we should move on to the end of the episode.
We should.
What do you think's culture for you next week?
Surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving is going to be my culture for next week.
I think for us, hopefully Bug will be a little bit better, and we'll just sort of start playing out the end of summer, because next week, this is when the British summer holidays start in England. So for me, like, I'm like, okay, this is where you've got 6 weeks now to plan out the end of summer. So yes, no, I'm hoping, I think, and we've got our roof, hopefully our kitchen will be repaired and we can start looking at the roof deck slightly and maybe even get out there at some point.
Gasp.
I know. Well, with that, Daniel, I've been Max.
I'm Daniel.
Thank you for being our third.
Cheers.
A big thank you to everyone for tuning in to Daniel Max's Cultural Freeway and for giving us a listen.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and follow us on the socials.
You can find us under Bearded Bitch Pod or Bitches with Beards. Please remember that only a mother could love our views and opinions, and they reflect us and no one else.
We'll be here next week, unless we're cancelled.